the juice, I got the juice. 10-0, Chatham's on. Foolies glad I'm home. Even my haters kinda glad I'm on. Rest in peace to my bag.
Hey, what is happening, guys? Clips here, and today we are going to be doing the 2018 NHL playoff simulation set up in NHL 18. So you guys absolutely loved when I did this video last year, and it was nowhere close to where everybody's bracket was. EA thought Calgary was going to sweep the first 3 teams and then win the cup in 5 games. God damn, were they wrong. So, I have set it up once again with all the right matchups and all the right positions, just like real life's bracket, and we are going to see who is taking home the Stanley Cup. So, I have the most up-to-date rosters, and here is your playoff bracket. You got Nashville, the President's Trophy winners, facing Colorado, Winnipeg versus Minnesota, Vegas versus LA, Anaheim versus San Jose, New Jersey Devils versus Tampa Bay, Toronto versus Boston, Washington versus Columbus, and Pittsburgh versus Philly. I will simulate the first round, and then I will show you guys who remains as well as who's leading in the stats categories. Just so you guys know, I haven't locked on to any of these teams, so there's no simulation advantages whatsoever. It's every team for themselves. Alright boys, let's get past this first round. Alright boys, so round 1 is done. And there is your new playoff bracket. They had 4 sweeps going for round 1. They had Nashville sweeping the Colorado Avalanche and Winnipeg sweeping Minnesota. I could see both of those, maybe not sweeps, but definitely both of those teams advancing. But here is a massive upset. They had the LA Kings sweeping the Vegas Golden Knights. Oh man, after a season like what Vegas just had in their inaugural year, that would be so upsetting to get swept and not even get a playoff win in your first entry into the playoffs. But hopefully that's not the case, just what EA thinks. And then you got Anaheim winning 4-2 over San Jose. Then going over to the Eastern Conference side, another massive upset with the Devils taking down the Tampa Bay Lightning. And then the only Game 7 series of the first round, apparently Toronto taking down Boston in 7 games. And then you got the Washington Capitals taking out Columbus in 5, and another sweep with Pittsburgh sweeping out the Philadelphia Flyers. I think that one will be a little bit closer just because of the rivalry. That's going to be a fun series to watch. But there is your next setup. So I will simulate round 2, but first off, let me just show you who's leading in the stats. Ryan Getzlaf running away in the playoff scoring race, but you got Matthews right up there, and Nylander, my Leafs, and then Hall still on a tear. So there's your stats, boys. Let's simulate round 2, and I'll get back to you with the conference finals matchups. Alright boys, there is your final 4. They have the Nashville Predators taking down Winnipeg in 6 games, Anaheim taking down LA in 5, and then over on the Eastern Conference, Toronto taking out New Jersey in 6, and once again, Ovi getting stomped by the Pittsburgh Penguins and not making it past that second round. Story of his life. So Toronto versus Pittsburgh in the East, and Nashville versus Anaheim in the West. I don't know, this kind of looks sort of realistic. Other than the first round, that second round is looking pretty real to me. So maybe EA's onto something this year. But it's time to find out who our Stanley Cup final matchup is gonna be. And once again, here is your stats. Getzlaf and Perry still at the top of the board. But Crosby starting to work his way up there, and a few other guys. So let's find out who's gonna be in the Stanley Cup finals. There you have it, boys. Your Stanley Cup final matchup. Pittsburgh going for the three-peat, and Nashville almost getting back to the finals for a repeat of last year's finals. They took it to Game 7, but Anaheim goes out on top. My poor Leafs getting swept in the Eastern Conference Finals by Pittsburgh. Can Pittsburgh complete the three-peat, or will Anaheim upset them? Let's find out, boys. So, we'll go back to the simulation here. I just got to show you the stats real quick. Sorry about that. There you go. Getzlaf still leading it. And there is everybody else. I'm not going to go too far in depth with it. But let's find out who is going to be taking home the Stanley Cup? First game goes to Anaheim. Anaheim up 1-0 in the series, that only being Pittsburgh's second loss of the 2018 Stanley Cup Finals. Alright, there we go. Game number 2 also goes to Anaheim, giving them losses number 2 and 3. Pittsburgh needs a win here. They are down 2-0 in the series. Alright, game number 3. Oh my god, are the Anaheim Ducks going to ruin Pittsburgh's three-peat? Will Phil Kessel not get to fill the Stanley Cup with hot dogs 3 years in a row? They are down 3-0. And this is the moment. Will Anaheim take it? They sweep Pittsburgh in the Stanley Cup Finals. And EA says Anaheim is going to win the Stanley Cup Finals in 2018. Sweeping the Pittsburgh Penguins. Wow. Going into the Eastern and Western Conference Finals, that was looking sort of realistic, but I don't know, boys. I don't know how many of you have your brackets set up like this. If you do, make sure to leave me a like down below and tell me who you got right in here, or who EA, I should say, got right, and who they got wrong. Is this close to what yours looks like, or not at all whatsoever? I don't know, boys. It doesn't really look a lot like mine, but maybe EA's onto something. Probably not. Sorry, there's your final stats. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this playoff simulation. Like I said, leave a like if you did, and have a great day, you sexy studs. Peace.